You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Folks, the playoff season is here, and the only thing better than the game day predictions are the foods that come with them. Introducing Tums Fantasy Football Pool, brought to you by Tums, America's #1 antacid brand, and DraftKings. Each week leading up to the big game, turn football into foodball by building your best game day plate for a shot at winning a share of $40,000 in cash prizes. Inspired by game day bites and tailgate treats, join the Tums Foodball action during this playoff season's most heartburn-inducing times. Visit DraftKings.com/TumsFoodball between January 6th and February 9th to enter for free and select your game day plate before the start of each playoff round. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at DraftKings.com/TumsFoodball. When you feel the heat of the game, don't let the heartburn keep you on the sidelines. Try Tums Chewy Bites with a tasty outer shell and soft center for fast relief of heartburn, acid indigestion, and upset stomach. Check out Tums Gummy Bites, featuring a soft and easy-to-chew format for fast relief of occasional heartburn, acid indigestion, sour stomach, and upset stomach. Both available at Amazon, Target, and other major retailers nationwide. And for more heartburn relief fun, be sure to follow Tums at Tums Official on Instagram and TikTok.
You know that sound. It's the sound of money hitting your Venmo account, a friend paying you back, or maybe it's getting cash back from your favorite business when you pay with the Venmo debit card, or it's realizing you can pay with Venmo at checkout at thousands of brands. Now, there are so many more ways to answer the question, what's your Venmo? Download Venmo today. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Dosh cashback terms apply.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast. It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite. Dan, he is amongst a handful of coaches who have won a Super Bowl and a national championship. He was away from the game for a year, and you know it almost killed him because no one loves the game more than him. But Dan, that all changed because the Raiders needed a young coach, and a young coach they got. Their fifth head coach since moving to Las Vegas in 2020. And Dan, just like that, make no mistake about it, Pete Carroll is back. Happy for him, aren't you?
He seems like a very nice man.
He does.
Everyone seems to like Pete Carroll.
Yep.
That's hard in sports.
You're right. Who doesn't like him?
There aren't a lot of negative
He made
things.
that choking sign to a kicker. That kicker probably doesn't like him.
Stojakovic?
Yeah.
Yes, that was...
Stojanovic, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
I think you had him as pager.
Yeah, you're right. You got it. That's a fine for me. You're right.
Venmo fine. Bills Chiefs, game of inches. Every sports talk radio show is going to start today with Was Alan Short and open up the phone lines for hours. WGR in Buffalo, WHB in Kansas City, 20 shares. Congratulations. What a day for those two stations. Oh, bad day for Philly. They won. I mean, what do they do? WIP.
Well, they've got another
Bunch
2
of
weeks.
phonies,
No,
yeah.
they've got 2 weeks. What do you mean phonies?
I mean, they wanted to fire Nick Sirianni. Now he's the greatest coach in Eagles history. Get out of here. Zach Ertz leads the league. It's still got it.
Does he?
He does.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show, Choo-Choo. Does Zach Ertz lead the league in still got it?
Pete Carroll is a young 73. Patrick Mahomes, 4-0 versus Josh Allen in the playoffs. You know what that means, Dano?
I do not.
It means he has his number. This isn't a rivalry until Josh Allen wins in the playoffs. Sean McDermott, do it against the Chiefs. Josh Allen, do it against the Chiefs. If Saquon Barkley wins a Super Bowl for Philadelphia, never, ever mention Charles Barkley in the same sentence with him ever again.
Wow.
I mean, I'm serious. He becomes the most famous Barkley in the history of Philadelphia. And there's Matt as well. He's not in Kentucky.
Greg Cody says that Saquon should be the MVP of the league. It is pretty impressive to watch a guy. It's okay. Matt Barkley is not someone that you'd put in the discussion. You got carried away. You got me first time. I know Barkley's your friend, Dan. I'm going to get you here. But then the second time with Matt Barkley is where you got carried away. It's the same thing you did with the Belichick argument. You had a good take that would have been perfectly fine by itself, and then you made it a little worse.
I mean... Championship Monday, Dana.
I know, it's crazy around here today.
Saquon, though. Wow.
I saw Jess was arguing with Willow. They had an argument in the other room.
Wow. People
She's
going
on
crazy.
a diet.
Oh.
Cranky.
There should be an MVP for in between the regular season and the Super Bowl. A playoff MVP.
I like that idea.
Thank you. When it matters, right?
Uh-huh. That's what you can call it.
When it matters.
Yes, the whim.
WIM.
The When It Matters Award. Yes, it would be won by Patrick Mahomes. Every down, you just keep awarding it on every 3rd and 5 that he runs for 6 yards.
More or less prestigious than Walter Payton Man of the Year.
What was that weird outlier year where it was Evan McPherson?
Wow. He could win. He would have won it. You're right. Kansas City Chiefs do it in the Super Bowl. The Bills didn't lose that game. Spags won it. Steve Spagnuolo carrying Patrick Mahomes to 3 consecutive Super Bowls. Collision course. I was so used to Gabe Davis wearing 13 for the Bills that I was terrified anytime they threw it to the guy who I thought was Gabe Davis, but thankfully wasn't. Gabe Davis drops those passes.
Not once against Kansas City, he didn't. There was one game against Kansas City where he caught 200 yards worth of them.
Yeah. In terms of spirit, attitude, and the way he chews gum, Pete Carroll is the youngest head coach in the NFL. I mean, he is. You would agree. He's got energy.
He does
on top of energy.
He does have youthful exuberance. He seems to have a zest for life.
Yep.
Secret to aging. He had white hair when he was 40.
Yep.
Well, I would say zest for life is also a secret to aging as well.
I feel like he's a very 73-year-old, 73-year-old.
You don't know Pete. I mean,
I just think you're picturing a Pete Carroll of a bygone era.
Well, he's talking about his aura and his energy, not the way he looks physically.
I'm talking about both.
And the way he chews gum.
That'll give you.
Congratulations to Dalton Kincaid for ruining Josh Allen's legacy. The whole Dalton Kincaid and Schultz thing is very confusing. Is it not?
2 different last names, yeah.
I call Dalton Schultz. I call him Dallas Kincaid. I mean, I'm all over the place.
You know, I've been able to manage.
Yeah.
Throwing a Dawson Knox.
Oh,
boy.
God, everything gets crazy.
I do. I'll do the same thing. Dallas Clark, Dawson Knox, Kincaid.
Clark, I forgot.
That's just all of them. It's some
Mashed together.
It's just all 3 of them mashed together and then go lose to the Chiefs. All of you.
Top 5 people who have ruined Josh Allen's legacy. OLI, Spags. Number 5, Gabe Davis. Number 4, the old overtime rules. Number 3, Sean McDermott. Number 2, Dalton Kincaid. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Here come the Islanders. Playing good hockey. They are. The Isles, watch out. At the end of the day, what happened?
You see that trade?
Yeah.
There was a blockbuster trade in the NHL.
What happened?
Mikko Rantanen got traded to the Carolina Hurricanes. Morning Natchez went to Colorado, and a huge blockbuster trade in the WNBA that was broken by Shams.
Wow.
Kelsey Plum. Just blockbusters.
I don't know why the Sparks would give up their number 2 pick. Very suspicious.
But you like the Isles.
They're hot. At the end of the day, trying to carry the football and Josh Allen to the Super Bowl was just too much for James Cook to overcome. How about you hand him the ball on 4th and 1? That guy's good.
That 4th down touchdown, forgotten. It'll end up being forgotten, and it could have been a play for all time.
Dan Batard saying he wants to get younger, but letting Poppy and Greg Cody carry the live stream. Dan, the Stugotz is strong in you. I'm glad they were there last night for you. I wasn't. They were. I'm glad they were happy. They made you happy. They were funny. I was glad they were there, but that's not getting younger, my man.
Thank you. Yes, that's correct.
I just dropped my man on
That's
you.
right.
It was weird. I've never done it before.
And totally obvious, yes, as well. Yes, they are not young people. The average age of Cody and my father is 76 and a half years old.
Greg is a young 76.
No, he isn't.
Like Pete Carroll-ish.
Right.
Greg is an old 70. Greg and Seinfeld are the same age.
Huh. I got chills watching Tom Brady zip one to Gronk during the pregame. Did you see it?
He loved, yes,
God.
as soon as they brought a football out, Tom Brady is a bit like your dog when it comes to his toy and the throwing.
Well, I guess he famously has been, yeah.
Jaden Daniels deserves better. The D in Jaden Daniels stands for deserves better. Washington fumbled the game away. You know what they say, Dan?
I don't.
Ball security is job security.
They do say that.
Eckler, that one hurt. Oh, did that one hurt? Oh. Hurt?
Oh, I just saw the look on Chris Cody's face of all those prop bet overs on Eckler that he bet just because Eckler's on God Bless Football. And so you go 24 and a half yards receiving. You go 18 yards rushing.
I had it, yeah.
He's lamenting Eckler. Like, everyone had a turnover for the Commanders in that game.
I know, but we love Austin, man.
You guys saw the stat, right, that all four of the remaining teams yesterday had not had a turnover in the playoffs? Like, for all the analysis we do, it's just that one's pretty important. Like, if you do not turn the ball over, you tend to win football games.
Yep. Unless you're the Bills.
That's right. Unless Patrick Mahomes is alive.
Not turning the ball over.
Also, well, he did turn the ball over, actually, right? The Chiefs lost the turnover battle in that game, correct? They turned the ball over once. The Bills played perfect football, still lost.
It's got to be frustrating.
It's got to be frustrating.
Did you see Josh Allen when he did fumble the ball and he just leaned over and picked it up with one hand?
It was a play of the game, yeah.
It's insane. Insane.
Yes, he's
guy.
He's a centaur.
The ball is oblong.
Weird ball.
He has one eye?
He's a centaur. The lower half of his body is the. Billy was pleased with his cyclone and
Cyclops
and centaur and cyclops
Jess's joke.
Yes.
What if the Bills hired Spags?
That's a great idea.
Jaden Daniels, the rare quarterback to arrive despite already having been there for months. He's good. I want to say he'll get back to that game, but it's football. Gatorade bath in the NFC Championship game. Embarrassing. The E in Eagles stands for embarrassing. Act like you've been there before. Seriously, no one celebrates the championship game like that. No one. Especially when you were a play away from winning the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Embarrassing. Whoever pushes the tush in a tush push should get the credit for the touchdown. How about that? Or a half tutty or something. I mean, seriously. They're doing all the work. They're pushing you into the end zone. Give them a touchdown. Gainwell. That guy would have so many TDs.
Those are funny words to put together because touchdown is what you do on Gainwell in order to gain well. Like, yes, you got to put your hands lower down on his body. I'm with Stugotz on this whole idea of there should be at least partial credit on the touchdown for somebody doing the pushing of the tush.
We were looking at the last Super Bowl matchup between these two teams, and it's rare because the cores are pretty much the same, but how different Philadelphia is playing from that year. Their whole offense was, very quick decisions.
Yes.
No one's going to be more decisive in the league than Jalen Hurts, and now it's all about the running game. Like the leading rusher in that Super Bowl for Kansas City. Behind Jalen, like in that backfield. Now they are a Saquon Barkley team was Gainwell, and he had what?
21 yards.
He didn't gain well.
No. But he pushed well. Super Bowl 59. Spags versus Fangs. Goosebumps. Oh, boy.
So why did Fangs leave Miami?
It's a good question. A lot
The
of
Dolphins
people,
wasted Fangs.
He didn't get along with the players.
A lot of people.
I thought he
have
wanted to be
been
close to
asking.
family or something.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That was his public.
I think that there was something legitimately to like going to Philadelphia and coaching for the Eagles.
Right.
Hated Jalen Ramsey.
He's a Philly guy if I've ever seen one.
He
right?
really is,
Yeah.
But you guys won that.
Spags or
for
Fangs?
sure.
Yeah.
Spag seems like a Philly guy also. Maybe a Buffalo guy. The real winner yesterday was the Kelsey podcast. On the topic of the Kelsey podcast, here's something to ponder. Was Jason Kelsey overrated? I mean, they set a franchise record for rushing yards the year he retired.
Do you know where Spags is from?
He's from Massachusetts. Yeah. Close to Buffalo. It is. He's a masshole. Dan, I went to school there. I know plenty of massholes, and I'm telling you, I can get to Buffalo in like 2 hours from my school. 3 hours. I'm pushing it. And I did, in that Acura Integra. Oh, did I push it?
I don't feel like there's anything close to Buffalo. Like, I don't think you can
It
say...
feels like that when
I
you're
don't,
there.
I don't think you can say anything is close to Buffalo. It's a long drive, especially where that stadium is.
Yeah.
His hometown is a 6-hour drive from Buffalo.
Not in an Acura Integra.
Right. Pushing it.
Exactly.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Jason Witten would have been a better hire. What are the Cowboys doing?
Billy and I are curious, Stugotz, why you would feel the need to lie about why a trip that was 6 hours would take you 2 hours.
And 18 minutes.
And then you made it
Trying
3
to enhance
hours.
my argument by lying.
The route may be affected by lakeshore flood warnings.
You
though.
guys have never pushed an Integra, okay? I mean,
I just don't understand
Just
why.
push it.
Why would you have to say that that's close to Buffalo when it's
it
not?
depends.
close
Are we
to
doing it on
Buffalo?
a Saturday? Is it a Sunday morning? It depends. Are we
Is there a
pushing
flood
it?
warning? Yeah,
Right.
these are things.
Does he drive an Acura? I mean,
The westernmost point of Massachusetts is a 5-hour drive from Buffalo.
I'm with Dan, though.
What kind of car are you driving?
It's an odd thing for
Ford
me.
Tagliabue.
What am I doing, Dan?
I mean, you're on nationally and internationally. Someone was going to call you on it. You're just
hoping
used
they
to.
wouldn't, yeah.
You're just used to getting away with the lies because we can't keep up with them, and not always is someone like Jessica looking up trying to play whack-a-mole with the
I
lies.
love maps. This is the best assignment ever.
I don't care if it's Kentucky. You can't storm the court after beating the 9th-ranked team in the country. You can't do it. Has any fan base of a below-average sports program stormed more courts and fields this year than Vanderbilt? The Commodores. City of Philadelphia, you don't deserve Nick Sirianni. That bulge you see coming out of the back of Brian Schottenheimer's shirt is Jerry Jones's hand. Nothing unites this country like laughing at the Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer should do his press conference sitting on Jerry Jones's knee.
I asked this question last night. They tried to news dump a head coach, right?
They did on a Friday, yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys
Can you believe it?
tried to news dump a head coach Friday, hoping that the games would swallow it, and they will.
Were you thinking of Syracuse? Because that's only 3 hours from Massachusetts.
I was thinking of Syracuse.
Okay.
Yes. But then Syracuse is like an hour to Buffalo.
No.
Nothing is near Buffalo.
Push it. Acura Integra.
It's
I've done it.
149 miles.
I've done it in an hour, I'm telling you.
But the route may be affected by lakeshore floods. So
Well, I was in college. It was a different time. But I've made that drive in 3 hours, I'm telling you. Worcester, Mass to Syracuse.
The Acura Integra's estimated maximum speed is 135 miles per hour.
That's what I'm saying. Max it out at 135. That's pushing it, and then do the math from there. 3 hours, boom. How many miles from Syracuse to Buffalo?
149.
All right, so about an hour and change.
What?
The Giants got the Eagles to a Super Bowl. Tom Brady saying he doesn't hate Nick Foles. Liar! You agree?
I do not agree.
You think he's telling the truth? You think he likes Nick Foles?
I think he's fine with Nick Foles.
He's not fine with Nick Foles. He'd have 8 if not for Nick Foles. He's fine with Nick Foles. No, you're Brady.
What was he, 7-3 in Super Bowls?
Yeah, it would have been 8-2.
You think if Tom Brady got really fat, everyone would just love him?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so too.
No one gets rewarded for doing dumb things more so than Nick Sirianni. Top 5 people who get rewarded for bad decisions. Number 5, President Trump. Number 4, everyone who President Trump pardoned. Number 3, Nick Sirianni.
More so.
Number 2, Christopher Columbus. He's trying to find Asia. He stumbled into America. I mean, number 1, me. Hey, watch out for the Knicks.
Really?
Oh, they're playing well today. I'm so excited about this team. I like basketball again. Dalton Kincaid, the Mark Andrews, is strong in you. Pat Riley, trademarking three-peat back in 1988. Heady play. Wow, Riles nailed it. Super Bowl 59, the greatest coach in Eagles history versus the second greatest coach in Chiefs history. How about that? Hank Stram? Anybody?
You really do have Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the greatest coach in Eagles history versus the greatest coach in Chiefs history.
Second greatest.
No, well, hold on. Thank you. I heard you the first time.
Oh, okay.
The greatest coach in Chiefs history and the greatest coach in Eagles history are both in that game, but they're both Andy Reid.
No.
Nick Sirianni has a 706 win percentage. Andy Reid at a 583.
Yeah.
And Nick Sirianni has taken them to 2 Super Bowls now. I wonder when it is that Andy Reid will no longer be as beloved in Philadelphia, because I would argue Eagles fans think that Andy Reid is a great coach because of what he's done in Kansas City.
That's correct.
Right.
He wasn't beloved in Philadelphia. He wasn't beloved.
They ran him out.
But now, if you ask Eagles fans, they'll be like, "Yeah, Andy Reid, we loved him."
Now he's beloved.
But because of what he did somewhere else.
Sirianni being complained and fired every McNabb season.
What about Doug Peterson? I mean, he actually won a Super Bowl
with the backup
with
quarterback
Nick Foles,
that
right.
Tom Brady
the guy
hates.
that Brady loves.
Yeah.
How about Dick Vermeil? He made it to 1.
Put it on the poll then. Greatest coach in Eagles history: Sirianni, Andy Reid, Peterson, or Vermeil?
Dick Vermeil, yeah. Now do it with the Chiefs. Andy Reid or Hank Stram.
Fine.
Or Dick Vermeil.
Pat Shurmur was 1-0 as an Eagles coach.
Nick Sirianni, 1 win away from being the Eagles' greatest head coach ever, and 1 loss away from being on the hot seat. What a game for him coming up, huh? How the hell did the Chiefs keep doing this? Speaking of hell, our Priles. Dan, those are the weekend observations.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yeah?
No hassle.
None.
That is super convenient.
Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Guys, Taxes was waiting and wondering and worrying if you're going to get any money back whatsoever, and then waiting, wondering, and worrying some more. Now Taxes is matching with a TurboTax expert who can do your taxes as soon as today. An expert who gives your taxes their undivided attention as they work on your return while you get real-time updates on their progress so you can focus on your day. An expert will find your every deduction possible and file every form, every investment, everything with 100% accuracy. Also, you can get the most money back guaranteed. No waiting, no wondering, no worries. Now, this is taxes. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live, full service, real-time updates only on iOS mobile app. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Now taxes are 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you're a first-time filer or didn't file with TurboTax last year. That's right. Just do your own taxes in the TurboTax app by February 18th. Had a few jobs last year? It's free. Have a lot of forms? Yep, still free. Have a bunch of new invisible crypto coins? Heads up, it's still free. Convince you saw Bigfoot even if your friends don't believe you. Then that has absolutely nothing to do with taxes, but you better believe it's still absolutely free. Just download and do your own taxes in the TurboTax app by February 18th. All tax forms, all 100% free. Now, this is taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live. Must start and file in app by February 18th.
Dan Le Batard.
I don't like Smetty either.
Stugotz.
Women stay home in the kitchen where they belong.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I think a lot of people had the reaction that Stugotz did to the Gatorade bath, where we're done with it. Maybe not embarrassing, but just done with that as the celebration. Come up with something new. I don't know why it is that we have now gotten tired of it, but I feel like a lot of people had the same reaction that Stugotz did, which is, come on, do something better than that to express joy. Although I would say the same thing of Patrick Mahomes. Hey, Mahomes, quit with the airplane dancing around. Like, give us something different on the joy level so that we can live vicariously through your joy and not have today feel like a day where people are rooting against the greatness, the obvious greatness that is you.
Are you sure that was Mahomes doing that and not Dylan Raiola? Because he was there yesterday for some reason.
Do you guys have that video? Can you guys get the video? What has he now gone too far where he is impersonating Patrick Mahomes? He's trying to look like Patrick Mahomes. He's behaving physically like Patrick Mahomes. And now he's also in the Chiefs locker room during a celebration, evidently doing interviews as Patrick Mahomes. What is happening here? Why is he in the Chiefs locker room?
He's just wandering about, and Isaiah Pacheco saw him, and he's like, hey, by the way, this isn't actually Patrick Mahomes. And then he, scans over to see Patrick Mahomes sitting down, and it's like, oh, boy, they're within, 20 feet of each other. I feel like this is violating some sort of restraining order that it should exist, whether it does or doesn't.
You feel awkward if you're Dylan, right? Do you kind of just go like, hey, man, I'm just trying to...
Yeah, who do you think should feel the most awkward here? Because, he's getting made fun of, right? Isaiah Pacheco's making fun of him.
But it's not Dylan. He knows what he's doing is outrageous, and he knows he's being made fun of, and he's still sinking into it, right?
Well, he gets to be in the locker room.
Right.
So whatever you have to do to get
what you got to do
to be in the locker room.
But it's also weird because he's of the age that he's trying to legitimately be in one of those locker rooms in the next couple years. So now he's in the locker room but kind of being made fun of.
Wouldn't you assume that wherever it is that social media resides with young people, that clout chasing would end up distorting some of the behavior occasionally with an assortment of people that this is Patrick Mahomes' brother is somebody who has also gotten the wrath of the internet for, hey, you don't deserve that fame. What are you trying to do grifting off of the fame of Patrick Mahomes? But isn't this the most common thing in the world these days?
But then he did alleged crimes. I think this is probably an unpopular take on Dylan Raiola. I think he's 19 and the things that he gets made fun of are largely harmless. He does he has the Patrick Mahomes haircut and does the celebration and stuff. And I think it'd be cool to be a 19-year-old and be in the Chiefs locker room after they win the AFC Championship. And plus, Stugotz, how far away is Lincoln from Kansas City?
It's about 6 hours, Acura Integra, if you're pushing it. Yeah.
So you're going slower because it's 3 hours.
Yeah, you got to go slow in Lincoln. Yeah.
He's got a good excuse.
Speed traps.
He's still a teenager. Yeah. Jason Tatum, no excuse.
Are there any other college guys out there imitating other NFL quarterbacks that just aren't getting the attention? Is there another Kirk Cousins out there at Iowa?
I mean, that would be something.
That would be weird.
Stugotz mentioned something during Weekend Observations. I do wonder how Giants fans are experiencing the idea that they chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley.
Oh, they have to hate it. I mean, the Giants are responsible for Saquon going there and putting their team into the Super Bowl. I mean, that's the last team Giant fans, maybe the Cowboys, want to see playing for a Super Bowl.
I'm honestly, I don't know what you guys view to be the greatest of the free agent additions when Mike Ryan is out here clamoring for the Buffalo Bills to make drastic changes. But the two big free agent moves this season somehow, after, I'm going to say, 5 years of everyone telling me how disposable the running back is and watching the economy of running backs shrivel up to nothing.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley being additions that move the needle like that more than any number one receiver, more than any quarterback changing places, where you just have a cultural shift on how it is that a team is viewed for toughness in the space age, spaceship passing age. It's an unusual thing to see exploited as a market inefficiency, especially with New York Giants decision-making. They decided to give Daniel Jones the money
off a playoff win
that could have kept Saquon Barkley.
Honestly, I view through a lot of this through a Cowboys prism. And, like, you have a guy that is a total dictator when it comes to your franchise, and every decision he seems to be making is wrong. It's bad, and it's progressively getting worse. The Brian Schottenheimer thing is just flatly weird, as Kellen Moore proves to be someone that is a lifesaver for Nick Sirianni, as Dan Quinn is in that game opposite of him, as all these running backs who are big splashy free agent signings, that's usually what he goes for. Instead, he brought back Ezekiel Elliott. Like, it's a little confusing what's going on over there, and they're almost just if you're a Cowboys fan, you're just like looking at, how old is Jerry? How long do we got to do this? None of this is going in the right direction.
If the Eagles win, they should send Joe Shane like a personalized Super Bowl ring, right? Like, just to troll him even more. Yes. Like, they should send a Super Bowl ring that says Joe Shane, and then it has like all the little trinkets and everything on it. Maybe put Saquon's number as his number in there. But like, whatever that cost, I think I would do just to mess with them.
In fairness to the Giants and Joe Shane, it was hard to see this coming, because 3 of the last 4 years, Saquon has been well below 1,000 yards. He had the 1 year where he was injured, had another year where he rushed for 593 yards. Last year was 962. To think that he was going to do this is ludicrous.
He has to legitimately resent his son for that clip going viral this whole season. Like, I bet he's gotten grounded, extra chores. It's like, you know the shit that this has caused me? Yeah. Your bright idea. Great idea. We couldn't even have taken Jaden Daniels. But yeah, we should have taken him. Yeah.
One of the things that perpetually gets understated whenever we're talking about any of this stuff is Saquon Barkley has been really healthy all year. And so it helps to be able to break all of those tackles with those giant thighs that are not possible to tackle in the open field when you don't actually get hurt. Because it's not just the season you're talking about that he was hurt. I think of his entire time with the Giants as Daniel Jones not being good enough, so they kept handing the ball to Saquon Barkley with no openings, and then he'd get hurt.
Well, he had the year where he played 2 games. That was the bad injury. Next year, 13 games, then 16. Last year was 14.
I don't assume, though, that he's always healthy, though, once he comes off of that year. Like the year where you played 2 games and then come back the next year and aren't quite yourself. Like, what we're presently witnessing from this human being, what could have been projected out of college, because everyone saw what a mammoth beast he was.
And he was great as a rookie.
But playing behind that offensive line, which for 5 years has been the best in the sport, even if you take out Jason Kelce, has made it a different beast.
Why does the NFL still have like stationary bikes from 1970 on the sidelines with like the giant fans that you have to like pump the arms also? Like, Peloton can't like step in and be like, we'll provide you with like 32 bikes and then just, set those up on the sidelines? Because like, I don't think those are in existence anywhere except NFL sidelines anymore, right?
They should just have an entire Soul Cycle class going on in the end zone. So if you get hurt, you have to jump into the class and start dancing.
That's a good question, Billy. Put it on the poll at Batard Show. Why does the NFL use stationary bikes from the 1970s?
Also, the difference between athletes and us, if I run 60 yards and score a touchdown, I'm like panting on the ground with oxygen, not hopping on a bike to stay warm.
Well, James Harrison needed oxygen after his famous Super Bowl run.
True.
You are bringing up a point that is visually funny, but that we're used to. It's not unlike looking at the sidelines and one of the offensive linemen is using one of those belts that vibrate to lose weight.
I love those belts. Yeah.
In the 70s, like that belt that just gets attached to a machine that shakes a few.
I think those are back now.
No.
I'm
They
getting
are
IG ads for them.
No.
Yeah.
So you will now.
I bought one.
No.
So what was the premise? Like the science is that it just jiggles your like love handles, I guess?
It's like doing 50,000 sit-ups.
Yep. Just
And
sitting
then-
on your couch.
And then you lose weight?
Yeah. Well,
Mike, your IG knows you're 40, yes?
It knows that I'm turning 40 with hats that I can put on that regrow my hair. Hats
But you're
that
a
I can
young
wear.
40.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But
Carol.
no, everything on my IG is all my For You. I did get Kegel exercises for men. That one's a new one.
Whoa.
you got the infrared thing that you put on your head and it grows your hair back?
Yeah, I got that one.
I fell for it.
I'm not sure what it's trying to tell me about the Kegel exercises.
I want to play some sound here from God Bless Football. Stugotz had a monster year betting football games. Billy, did he end up passing you? Both of you had great years betting games, getting things publicly right when you were, being accountable for your picks. Did he end up passing you? Because
I stopped keeping track of how we were doing head-to-head after a while because I learned early on that it was bothering him. So I didn't.
I mean, everyone makes a big deal about this big board that's not very big. I mean, no one talks about my picks. I mean,
I stopped. I would go out there and put the picks, but at a certain point, and I hate to say this to our fans of betting public, there were weeks that I was like, I hope I have an off week because it's really starting to bother Stugotz.
You're not fat. You're just wearing the wrong shirts. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like every time I scroll down, the third video is Dana White telling me about something like, I used to be like you. But then I found this guy.
Yeah.
You could do it, you could not. But I trust him more than anyone in science.
what is the name of the belt that is just shaking from a distance? It can't be made the way that it was for, like, the 1950s, right? Like, it's not... You're saying it's the same thing has been reinvented to a new generation where they're like, we'll trick you. You can just sit there. You don't have to exercise. We'll give you six-pack abs. All you have to do is wear this around your waist, and it will shake, and you watch how your core gets strong.
I get that for the back and also for the front. Look, you can be doing 500 crunches while you're just sitting down watching NASCAR, Mike. Yeah. You're not the problem. Mm-hmm. Science is.
Yes.
Let's celebrate Stugotz. And I did not know that this was a source of tension between you and Billy.
It was called the vibrating exercise belt.
And is it still called the vibrating exercise belt? Because Mike is telling me this is making a comeback. And again, I'm just putting Deion Dawkins on the sidelines. And
right.
I'm just having him, you go to the sideline, an offensive lineman needs to get, because the reason the stationary bike has the arms moves is because you want to be interconnected between arms and legs when you're warming everything up and when you're, stretching the elasticity that is the fascia in the body.
The one you're talking about actually is called the Walton belt. That makes sense, right? You've heard of that before, the Walton belt. Yes.
Yes.
They've upgraded it.
I can't believe that this has made a comeback. I was making a joke. Let's go ahead and play the sound, though, and celebrate Stugotz's winning season here. Is this numerically accurate, Billy? Would you're vouching for the correctness of these numbers? Let's see what we've got here.
In fact, I maintain that no one has ever had a better gambling football season than the one I'm currently in right now. How about that? 2 games to go. Let's finish strong. Commanders, they're taking on the Eagles at Philadelphia. Commanders +6, buy it up to 6.5. Commanders cover. They win the game outright. They win by 4 and advance to the Super Bowl. Bills +1.5. They're taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I have no idea what to do with this game. I'm lying. I know exactly what to do with this game. Take the Bills. The Bills go to the Super Bowl.
That's an unfair edit. I put in the Slack what Stugotz's record was. It was like 30 games over 500. You guys edited just to have him get the games wrong.
We tell them to tighten videos, and then this one, we want exactly the line Dan wanted. I mean, it's just,
I was 1-1 this week. I was 87-51-4 on the season.
But we just played. That's unfair. What do you mean, well?
I think when you sent the video, they didn't know the context that you were going to be setting up, I think.
They just assumed that I was making fun of him versus...
I think we wanted to the thing to highlight there is he picked the two teams that lost. Like, that's what I thought we were trying to highlight.
No, I understand, and I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying it's an unfair video edit to Stugotz. Look, did you not hear how we started? We were celebrating the fact that he did well. We don't celebrate it enough. He complains about it. There's tension between Billy. I put it in the Slack in order to celebrate it. You guys edit out the part that's positive and only leave in what embarrasses him.
Can I criticize Stugotz for something else?
Sure.
Nothing about Madison Keys and Weekend Observations.
Oh, that's a bad job out of me. You're right.
Taylor.
Can you give me, please, the price or any information on this Walton belt that is making a comeback so that people jiggle to lose weight?
It shakes the fat away.
How much does that cost?
The originals are on eBay for around $300.
Wow.
It looks a little dangerous. No. It looks very old and very torture device-y. Yeah.
I want to please Stugotz and make him feel a little better about things. How about you guys just put up a video of Sylvester Stallone talking in order to tickle Stugotz?
Allow these today. They don't even allow these today because they're so dangerous. But that's what they used when I did the film. They're barely 6 ounces. They're Reyes, and they're literally lethal. So I still have them because it's a time when people were tougher. Sorry, they were. Life is just getting a little easier and easier and easier. And, oh, that's great. It's wonderful, but it's not. I think when we force ourselves into tough situations, that's what the human creature is supposed to do. They're not supposed to have wheels on their suitcases. They're not supposed to have lawnmowers with engines that pull them along. It's a convenience, no question, but it just makes things easier. Now with AI, you can literally put your brain in a pickle jar and have that machine do it. So I cherish these moments. I cherish hard work, even though I hate it. I know it's like strong medicine. Tastes horrible going down, but it makes you feel better.
He's talking about the Rocky gloves, the 6-ounce Rocky gloves.
Did you notice behind him he had the heavyweight belt from Rocky and the machete from Rambo? I mean, oh my God.
Do you think he believes he was world champion?
What a shelf.
Put it on the poll. Yes, is the answer to your question. He also believes that he could fight and doesn't get dissuaded by the video proof of the Rocky movies that made all of that punching seem both small and stupid. But put it on the poll. Were people tougher during Stallone's days? Yes or no?
Rolling suitcases catching a stray.
Yeah, what's wrong? And put it on the poll as well. Do we need to do something about wheels on suitcases?
You got to carry it. I mean.
You do?
According to Sly.
Yeah, but why?
Same with cars. We should just be doing the Fred Flintstone, like...
Why did Stallone just do a back in my day being against advancements?
Anti-wheel. No more wheels. Wheels are the easy route.
Hey there, wellness warriors. If you're like me, you've given a lot of thought to how to improve your health and wellness routine this year. I've started stretching more, do a little mindfulness and meditation every day, try to clear my mind, make my body feel right. Take your health routine to the next level with the magic of contrast therapy. Meet our new amazing sponsor, Redwood Outdoors. They're making it easy to bring the benefits of saunas and cold plunges right to your backyard. A Redwood Outdoors backyard sauna seats 2 to 8 people, where you can relax, unwind, and enjoy all the benefits like reduced muscle tension, improved sleep, and glowing skin. And it doesn't stop there. Redwood Outdoors' invigorating cold plunge helps to boost circulation, sharpen your focus, and leave you feeling absolutely revitalized. Whether it's detoxing deeper, reducing inflammation, or connecting with loved ones in moments of peace, Redwood Outdoors has you covered. Enhance your physical and mental wellness routines with Redwood Outdoors. Take advantage of special savings today. Visit redwoodoutdoors.com. Use code DAN to save $175. That's redwoodoutdoors.com. Code DAN to save $175 on your order. redwoodoutdoors.com. Code DAN.
Folks, the playoff season is here, and the only thing better than the game day predictions are the foods that come with them. Introducing Tums Fantasy Food Ball Pool, Brought to you by Tums, America's #1 antacid brand, and DraftKings. Each week leading up to the big game, turn football into foodball by building your best game day plate for a shot at winning a share of $40,000 in cash prizes. Inspired by game day bites and tailgate treats, join the Tums foodball action during this playoff season's most heartburn-inducing times. Visit DraftKings.com/TumsFoodball between January 6th and February 9th to enter for free and select your game day plate before the start of each playoff round. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at DraftKings.com/TumsFoodball. When you feel the heat of the game, don't let the heartburn keep you on the sidelines. Try Tums Chewy Bites with a tasty outer shell and soft center for fast relief of heartburn, acid indigestion, and upset stomach. Check out Tums Gummy Bites, featuring a soft and easy-to-chew format for fast relief of occasional heartburn, acid indigestion, sour stomach, and upset stomach. Both available at Amazon, Target, and other major retailers nationwide. And for more heartburn relief fun, be sure to follow Tums at Tums Official on Instagram and TikTok.